Hi, hello, shalom, my name is Haley Buckle and I'll be your history teacher for the day. If being a history teacher means that I'm going to tell you a story with only the things that I think are interesting and leave out all of the boring bits that are possibly more important. So let's get started. So today we're going to be talking about the OG Tiger King. If you have not seen the Netflix documentary Tiger King, you should right now. It's very good. Anyways, we are going to be talking about Nero, the Roman emperor, very bad guy, also owned a tiger. We will get into that. Nero was born December 15th, 37 AD. He was born to Gnaeus Domitius, Ahenobarbus, and Agrippina the Younger. That was a mouthful. Agrippina the Younger, his mom, was the sister of the Emperor Caligula. But despite Nero's connections, people thought there was no way this kid is gonna be emperor. But oh boy, were they wrong. So Caligula is assassinated just 4 years after taking the throne. Big surprise, right? So Caligula has no heir and the throne gets passed around a lot. Meanwhile, Agrippina has a plan. She's like, I'm gonna get my son on that throne. So what does she do? She becomes one of the candidates for the new emperor Claudius's wife. And with the help of her patron Pallas, she actually becomes Claudius's new wife. So now that Agrippina has infiltrated the palace, she tries to set up a marriage between her son Nero and Claudius's daughter, Claudia Octavia. Problem is, Claudia's betrothed to someone else. But Agrippina's like, no big deal, I'm just gonna ruin his reputation and convince Claudius that the marriage needs to happen between our two kids. And it worked, so now Claudia and Nero are married. Agrippina even convinces Claudius to adopt Nero as his son and making him the new heir to the throne. And shortly after he does that, Claudius somehow dies. It is said that he was poisoned, possibly by Agrippina. We don't know. So Nero takes the throne before he's even turned 17. And he does some good things at first. He reduces taxes, gets rid of those gladiator battles and switches them out for contests of athleticism and poetry. And he gives the Senate more power. But then he starts to get a big head and has an affair with a former slave and gets his mom killed. Oh, and he also adopts a tiger named Phoebe. So let's get into that part of the story. Apparently, Nero was at one of those gladiator battles and he was watching in the audience in the Colosseum and he saw Phoebe, who was more ferocious than 3 tigers combined. And he was like, I like this tiger. So Phoebe, because she was such a problem, they were gonna euthanize her. And he goes, no. I'm gonna adopt this tiger and this is gonna be my new companion. So Nero adopts Phoebe and he has a giant golden cage built in the palace for her. He brings her everywhere. And even when he's eating dinner, she sits at the table with him, even if there are guests. And it was said that if someone annoyed or upset Nero in any way, they became Phoebe's dinner. So back to our story. Nero's mom is dead, he murdered her, and 2 men take her place to run the empire. But after they retire, Nero replaces them with Gaius Ophanius Tigellinus, and that is his best boy. After that, he divorces Octavia and marries one of his mistresses, who he apparently killed by kicking her in the womb while she was pregnant with his child. But he wasn't over her because he married a male slave named Sporus, who he had castrated and would make him dress up like his late wife and parade him around in public, but on occasion, and he would also call Sporus by her name. Also, I don't know the validity of this, but some historians say he made his way to Jerusalem at one point and said he was gonna convert to Judaism. Anyway, some time goes by and Nero is off doing God knows what, and a fire breaks out in Rome. it burns up the entire city. And he tried to help a little bit by opening up shelters to the homeless people and lowering the price of grain, but people still blamed him for it. Then he decides to build another palace, an even bigger palace called the Golden House. And some people were like, okay, so you probably facilitated this burning of Rome just so you could build a new palace. And Nero was like, no, I didn't. And to try to get the people off his back, he blames it on the Christians. According to some people, he would punish Christians by feeding them to dogs, crucifying them, and setting them on fire. So then this rebellion breaks out, and it's pretty bad actually. It started in Gaul under the leadership of Gaius Julius Vindex. Strange name. And the revolt spreads across the empire, and everyone starts to turn on Nero. The Praetorian Guard even abandons him. So he tries to flee, and the Senate is coming after him, and Nero says, well, I guess it's time to die. So he stabs himself in the throat with his dagger and bleeds out on the floor. His last words were said to be too late as a centurion comes over and tries to pretend to stop the bleeding from his throat wound. Okay, and 1 hour later we are done. That is the story of Nero and his tigress Phoebe. So now we are gonna cut into this Roman apple cake. We're gonna see how it tastes. I don't know, we'll see. That's pretty decent. Okay, no, it's not. Pie or like a cake, they call it a cake, but it kind of is like the consistency of a pie. I don't know. Let's see how it tastes. No, yeah, that's good. Yeah. I mean, I'm gonna call this a pie, even though they call it a cake. And because in my opinion, it is a pie. But if you enjoyed this, please let me know. If you did not enjoy this, please let me know. If you have any other recommendations of other things you want me to talk about, please let me know. And that is it for now. Bye.